welcome back to another episode of Inner Peace, Better Health. I'm your host, Sana, and today we have a truly inspiring guest joining us. Well, he's a proud Florida native who's all about storytelling and entertainment. Over the past 5 years, he's really thrown himself into the creative industry, working on different projects with some talented friends. And he's especially passionate about animation. He sees animation as this amazing medium that can connect with so many different people and tell stories in ways that other formats just can't. So, please welcome our incredibly talented guest, Samuel Chambers. Samuel, welcome to the show, and it's fantastic to have you here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the warm intro. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Lovely, lovely. So, Samuel, before we even talk about, your current filming, the high stakes projects you handle, what brought you to the world of creative industry? What motivated you or attracted you to the world of animation?
So from the beginning, I would say while I was in high school, I had a group of friends who did music. It was they had a whole rap collective and all that.
Mhm.
From that point of view, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I was in high school and stuff like that. But because when we're in high school, everybody's like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna be?" And da 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 da. And I'm just like, "Well, I really don't know." But they took me under their wing. I saw that as an outlet, and did I make music with them? No, but I saw the inspiration of what I wanted to do. And once I left high school, um, I decided to get into I felt like I was kinda already in poetry, but I buckled down on it more on that end because I was in middle school dealing with that, and I thought it was cool, so I carried that on. And from that, I just kept going with it, kept going with it. Then I started doing, slam started going to, places where they do poetry at, and I started doing it at Kava. And then once I did the Kava, I met some other places I went to. And then when I got the chance to go to this one place that was doing poetry, I sat down with a couple of people and they asked me, "Hey, are you interested in film and stuff like that since you're doing poetry?" I was like, "Well, I mean, it seems interesting, it seemed interesting." So they took me under their wing. They showed me the ropes. And this was like 17, 18, right, probably 19, around those three ages. I believe that was when I decided to take I met them around I was 18, 19. I met them and they took me under their wing. They told me the ins and outs about it. And once I got felt comfortable with it, and I took my own chances and I started doing my own thing once I got my mentorship done by through them. And it's just been doing my own thing ever since.
Wow, wow. So you had the creative bug in you right from the beginning and you followed it. That's really an inspiring journey, Samuel, and thanks for sharing that with all of us. Um, Talking about when you are in the thick of high stakes projects, what strategies do you use to maintain your composure and focus, because handling so many stuff at the same time, it can be so frustrating, so hard. You can get so much frazzled. So how do you do that?
I always say the biggest thing is, as soon as you wake up, I'll say this. When I get a chance to, as soon as I wake up, before I start the day, I go outside barefoot and touch some grass, take some breathers, you know, take a cup of water with me. And this is just to start the day because when as soon as I wake up, my phone buzzing, I got emails from last night, I got text messages, calls and stuff like that. So before I even touch my phone, really, I it's like a habit to pick it up, but I decided to just leave it alone, go outside
Mm,
and take the time out for myself. Cause you just woke up, you are thankful. We're gonna want to be thankful for the day
exactly.
and be sure to just give that respect to yourself. And from that, throughout the rest of your day, I think about taking no breathers. making sure you get a journal entry in, write down how you feeling. And especially with taking out like getting a good book, take a time out of your busy day, like 30 minutes to an hour or hour 30. Just sit down with yourself, think about what's going on, and have a good book with you. Like right now, um, I'm reading this graphic novel called Vagabond, and I'm really enjoying this. It gives me a chance to just like get out of my own project and look into something else that really inspires me. I'm a big animation lover, big manga reader, and graphic novel reader. I don't like reading books like the Harry Potter and stuff like Lord of the Rings. I don't mind someone reading it to me, but I like picture books a lot more than actual books. And I really enjoy taking the time out of my day just to think about what's going on. How's everything going with me? Just checking in with yourself. And I think the biggest thing with a lot of people, they don't do that a lot. They're just always on go. They're always doing this and then they feel tired. And 9 times out of 10, that shows through your relationships. So the big circle moment to answer this question is, just take the time out of your day, just knowing that you have limits. Not everything needs to be done in a day. Hopefully, you can get most things done, but don't try to beat yourself up on the fact of you not being able to complete certain things. So I hope that answers the question. It was long winded, but yeah.
I think you answered the question beautifully. I think to summarize, practicing gratitude and self compassion, that
Mhm.
just at the start of the day, before even you look at your phone or you look at anything else, I think it sets the day for the right course. And our listeners should definitely take this as a takeaway before even looking at your phone and then thinking, oh, again, I have to get up and start the day. I don't feel like doing this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hustle. I cannot do it. Just express gratitude that you have been gifted another day, another beautiful morning in your life. You are alive. You get to see the nature, as you mentioned, Samuel. You get to, feel the touch of grass, green grass, and blue skies. So I think, yeah, it's beautiful, and I think it's very, very essential. Great. Also, Samuel, when you are handling the high stakes projects, there are a lot of creative demands here, logistically, managerial, people management. And I think it does take a toll sometimes. So, how do you balance all of these aspects?
I wonder that every single day. No, because like for real, like when it comes down to these podcasts, my friend, like I'm gonna say it like this. So first, be able to have a team that's willing to work with you. I'm gonna say that first, but at the same time, it's a lot. It's strenuous sometimes because when when you're on the inside looking in from your director, from a director's point of view, and someone who's doing the film. Because me, I was mentored in this stuff. I see people take the helm and be like, "This is what's happening. This is where we're going," and I'm going from there. From there, and it's comforting because you have somebody that's looking for you, that's looking out for you. They say, "This is what's going on. This is where we're heading." Now, when you're in the seat of the captain and the director or the CEO or something of this type of project, it gets strenuous, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It gets hectic. It really shows the boys from the men and the women from the women from the girls. It 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 gives you that proud sense of like this is what I'm doing. Like don't get it twisted. It's a great feeling, but it's a feeling that comes with a lot of responsibility. And when I first started off with this project, the Timid Bunny, it really just made me feel like wow, like this is this is my thing, and this is a lot of people that I'm bringing along with me on this journey to make it happen. It really shows me that what whoever was guiding me through the process of making these their film happen, it really shows me that hey, like even though you were once the follower, now you're the leader, you should be able to like take their time. Like I'm telling you, like the what we talked about, how do you like what do you do to keep the pressure down. Like, hey, like I told you, um, take a moment. Be sure to look at yourself in the mirror, see if everything is capable of having. Are you in the right place for this? Are you in the right mental space? Because I can tell you, like I could tell you, last week I had a situation where it was between sitting down with one of my people and telling them, hey, like there's certain things that need to be taken care of, and then there's aspects of what I have going on
Uh-huh.
that's detrimental to me. And I'm trying to sit down and really look at this whole situation, and I'm just like, is this a person I need on my team? He's been there, he's doing his job, but it's like it's something is a constant mess up. It's constant like problems and stuff. We're not gonna name names, but I understand that there's sometimes we need to let people go, and there's sometimes we need to keep people on and see if they can push through the hurdles. Because I can tell you, it's just it comes with a lot, and I'm grateful for it. Hands down, I'm grateful for it. But sometimes you really gotta look and be in tune with yourself, and be able to say, is everything okay?
Yeah, yeah. I
So
completely agree with you. When you are in that position, in the leadership position, uh, yes, empathy, mentoring, leading by example, they create that supportive environment, that supportive collaboration between the team members. However, the greater goal, the bigger picture, it has to be very clear. So, yes, I think the way the communication has to be done, that plays a very crucial role in, sustaining that relationship. I'm not saying that I mean, you are worthless, or you're not good for this, but I think for the greater good, this is something which I feel that doesn't work for you. However, in any way I can help, let's stay in touch. Let's stay connected.
mhm.
I think that definitely creates, sustains a good relationship in a longer way.
Oh, for sure. Cause I remember one time I was listening to a podcast and there was a lady who was saying this like don't be such a like a ruthless, mean leader because the way you get up and the people you had to step over is the same people that you had to kiss butt to when you're coming down.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I try to not like I like what you were saying, like I aim to be like the soft landing, the soft let go. I try to keep it as like sympathetic and empathetic as possible. You know, I try to do the best I can. But yeah, it gets hard sometimes when you have to let people go and let certain things happen because it sucks, but it has to happen sometimes.
So, so also, uh, how do you ensure, when now if we talk about storytelling, and as you mentioned, you are a big fan of animation, manga. So how do you ensure that your passion for storytelling remains intact, even under all this pressure of deadlines and expectations, because sometimes it can hinder that, creativity required.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my friend the other day. I was writing my journal today, and before we even jumped on this pod, and I was just like, I was telling my friend asked me like, how can I keep like that love alive? Because it's a business. You're a there's the film business, the music business, and everything that comes along with it. You gotta have it's like a yin yang type of ordeal.
Yeah.
So when I'm able to sit down with my projects and stuff, I don't see myself as the project. I see myself as the person that's bringing help, like bringing along the project. Because at the end of the day, I'm not the timid bunny. I'm not my future projects. What I do is the timid bunny. What I do in that moment is my projects. Because like I told you, I like reading books. I like being able to watch animated series. I like looking on YouTube videos, TikTok, and all the other projects that are happening. But for me to be able to take myself out of the equation of my own work, out of my own self, and actually look outside and being like, hey, there's someone doing this, or there's someone doing that. Maybe I got this idea, I can do this. And mind you, while I'm doing this project, I'm thinking of other projects as well. So it's not like I'm 100%. I'm like, if we were able to get percentages, I would say I'm like it's a majority. It's a majority on the Timid Bunny, but the minority part is like what I say. Like I give it 15% or like sometimes 20% of that on the end of other projects in my mind. So while I'm being able to maneuver myself through the project, keep myself fresh, I'm able to take the time out of my day and be like, hey, let me pick up this book real quick. Hey, let me look through my phone real quick. Let me look on Instagram. Let me look on this. Let me look at this project. Someone just sent me this. Oh, let me take a chance to look at it. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of people can't. People, a lot of people say it's a weird thing, but I like the business and the creative side of it. I see within the business side, there's creativity. So my blood's flowing through there. That flourishing through that is in there. The creative side, there's business in that. So it goes hand in hand. So for me to be able to stay on, like have the love for it, it's something that you got to understand that you're passionate for it. And when it comes down to love, you got to have that spontaneity. I think that's the word I look for. Yeah, um, be able to have something new. It's always something new when I'm doing it. That's the reason why I like it so much, and it's nothing concrete. So when I'm able to put myself into these situations where people are looking at me to make certain things happen,
Mm-hmm.
I look at it as a new opportunity. I make sure that everything I do, I try to keep 100%, or like at least eight. I'm trying to stay in the 80 to 100, 90 percentile when it comes down to being focused. But 9 times out of 10, I'm making sure that I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm constantly looking for something new. So to answer your question, it's just you gotta have that love for it to summarize it all. Just you gotta have that love for it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you don't have it, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's always been there for me. So it may sound cliche, but that's how I feel towards it.
Yeah, and I mean, totally feel that. Also, when you create something with passion, with that love, sometimes it does happen that it becomes a bit difficult to um, accept some outside opinion or feedback or criticism.
Mhm.
So how do you handle feedback and criticism, especially when you are under pressure to deliver?
Gosh, I run into that every day, bro. Oh, cause my sibling be going through the same thing. She's an artist, and she has her demands and stuff like that. And I have a couple other friends that think the same thing. But for me, I just be like, well, you know, as long as the criticism and everything that's coming towards me is beneficial to the fact, and there's no solution based added on to the back end of it, like there's a criticism and a solution, I really don't pay no mind. But sometimes when I hear something and it really just hears me, it doesn't even have to have a solution at the end. I just take it to heed because it's like, well, maybe I didn't think about that part. And maybe they have a ill intention towards it. You know what I'm saying? Because not everything is roses and bubble gum and stuff like that. But when someone brings me something and again, they might have an ill intention towards it. I think about it like, well, they're not giving me a solution, but it's something that they said. There's that silver lining in between it. And if I'm able to put myself in a situation where I'm like, all right, I can learn from this. And, it might piss somebody off that like that wasn't their intention, you know, when they're trying to do it on the ill will. But on the good end, they probably was like, oh, I'm glad you took that. But some people on the bad side of it are like, dang, like I was hoping to get in his head. But, you know, it's just I just don't pay it too much attention. Like, at the end of the day, it's my project. Yes, there's certain people that put their hands in the jar and the bowl, whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, I gotta make that end call. I gotta be the one to sit down and be like, is this fruitful? Is this something I really want to put into this? So, and I mean, look at the podcast you decided to bring me on. You guys have these topics every day. Yeah, for me, I'm just like there's got to be something in your guy's mind to be like, is this fruitful? Do I need this? Is that comment really necessary to take on? So I just make sure that I filter it the best I can. I take a minute, I've said countless times. Take those moments, like those moments of breath when everybody's out the room, when you're probably with that person that you need to talk to, that counselor, that mentor. Just make sure that you make the right decision for yourself. And I feel like that's one of the big things that a lot of filmmakers and a lot of creatives have to take heed to.
Mm, true, true. Uh, it's like their baby, so you have to take that decision. You have to take the right decision with an open mind.
Mhm.
Praise. Uh, so it's really, really enlightening, Samuel.
Yeah. And mind you, like this is like coming from somebody that's like, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it's just like I'm still learning, but I'm like 23 years old. And like at this age, a lot of people like countless times, like people's been telling me like, "Yo, you're young for your age, thinking like this." I'm like, "Oh man, when you're 17, you're constantly learning different things. You're able to like take from things, and like it's kind of like that give and take. You got to be able to learn new things." So I really enjoy the fact that I'm able to have this amount of wisdom. But I'm always looking to learn more. I'm always looking to make more out of it.
Wow, wow. That is inspiring. That is inspiring, Samuel. Wow. Okay, so before we wrap up, this has been such a fun conversation, but what advice would you give to someone who is about to, start their own ambitious project or start their creative journey, but they are worried about all the, pros and cons, about that pressure which comes along with it?
Someone that's starting their own thing, I would say don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to go pitch your ideas. Don't be afraid to look like a fool. Cause you're gonna look like one. Trust. I promise you, like you're gonna sometimes come out like an idiot. And that's the beauty of it all. Like when babies come out, they're not worrying about they're looking like a fool. They're just doing what they're doing because they enjoy it. So when you're out here pitching your ideas, you're out here listening to people's their input and stuff like that, and you feel like you don't know what's going on, ask for help. Like when I'm telling you, when I first started this podcast stuff with going on these interviews and being able to talk to people, my friend introduced me to this guy who allowed me to get on these projects, all these projects and these podcasts and interviews. And it was just the fact that I felt like I needed that help. I needed to get myself out there. And out of nowhere, someone said, "Hey, I know somebody. Do you want to talk to them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to." And now I'm here sitting on my third, I believe, like third podcast right now, going on my third. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to have a chance to have someone like you interview and talk to me about how I'm dealing with certain things. So thank you so much, honestly. So I thank him and you for allowing me. So just I'll recap it real quick. Don't be afraid to ask for help or allow help in. Don't be afraid to look like a fool. And I believe the third one, think I said it, or what was it? Take your time, you know, pitch yourself, pitch projects, do all that. Take your time. Just please take your time. Don't look to rush it, because the moment you start rushing it, because it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay.
And so, because you doing like projects like mine, that's monumentous. Like I feel like this project is gonna be mad extensive. Just take your time, jog, run, walk, do what you need to do, ride a bike, drive a car. It's and I mean that in a metaphorical sense sometimes, but just be able to be mindful of what's going on around you and be able to take or leave alone. Leave it alone or take what's necessary and leave what isn't. So that's what I would say. to the people who are looking to make their own projects, if that makes sense.
Wow, that's such a beautiful piece of advice. And I think not only for the creative minds, but for everyone. I think it gives such a crucial perspective to whatever someone is doing in their life. Also, Samuel, any exciting upcoming project or film you would like to share with us, which our listeners can definitely, go and check out and also connect with you if they would.
Yeah. Right now as we speak, we are working on our reservation for our project called The Timid Bunny, in which we're this a film about a bunny named Tony. He's a track star looking to get back into the field. And right now, my job as a storyteller is to tell that his ascension, or will he give in, or will he put his stuff out there again? So with what we got going on with our reservation, we're allowing people to put a reservation in to get us hold their spot so we can push them in towards our campaign called the Bunny Run. And we're setting up a crowdfunding campaign to make this film happen. So if you would like to help us out with making this project happen, you can go over to I believe it'll be in the show notes what we got going on my end and stuff like that. But if you need something, hold on one second. If you're on a website, you can go to bento.me / the timid bunny. No spaces. Again, bento.me / the timid bunny. That's our landing page, and you can look through that, see whatever you would like to see. If you would like to share it with people, if you want more information, that's everywhere. That's where we're mostly putting all our information on. But that's mostly what we got going on right now. We're making this actually, we want to make sure that this project is happening, and we wanted to share it with everybody. So if you guys would like to help out, like to share it, that's the main thing that we got going on.
Lovely, lovely. I love the name, the Timid Bunny. We'll have names mentioned in the show notes for all of our listeners to check the link out, the page out, and support in whichever way we all can. And Samuel, thank you so much for sharing your journey, your insights, your experiences with us today. I think achieving you know a profound perspective of life and having that that creativity, I think it's really god gifted to you. So it's really inspiring to hear your story and sharing your gifts with the world. And seriously, it has been an absolute pleasure having you today on the show, so thank you so much.
My pleasure, and likewise, man. Hey, I appreciate it. And make sure to tell the main man I said hello. So,
Great. So, to all of our listeners, I hope you found this conversation as inspiring, heartfelt, and enlightening as I did. And as Samuel said, staying grounded under pressure is all about finding that right balance, relying on your support network, and staying true to your passion. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends, family, or loved ones. And don't forget to connect with Samuel or check out his landing page, the website, which is bento.me / the timid bunny. You can check out the page there and you can refer the show notes along with this episode. And until next time, stay peaceful and stay healthy. Thank you.